Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to our Google Apps class. This week we're doing maps. So who has an answer to the first question on the paper in California? Dennis. Who has question number one?
I have it. Would you like for me to get
Well,
it?
I know that you know it because you've been here before. Who has an answer in California that's new? What is the question? What's question number one, Scott?
I don't know where you're going.
Okay, so in California, what is the rest of that statement?
Go ahead. Pat has it. Just a second.
Okay. So for the rest of the world, this is our Google Apps class. This week we're doing Google Maps. This is one of the 8 Google apps that we learned to master. And I guess we have a three people going to be starting. All right.
Okay.
So just follow along. You're being thrown into the deep end. That's how we do it here. This is a 16-week program. It's open enrollment. We go through all of these things twice. So even if you don't have any idea what we're talking about, by week 10, it'll be very obvious. Okay, Dennis, what is the answer to the first question?
All right, Pat's going to tell you.
What? Okay.
Her name is Pat.
Good morning.
Good morning. And the answer is?
Any road will get you there.
Correct. If you don't know where you're going, any road will take you there. So what does that mean, Summer? Not this map. If you don't know where you're going, any road will take you there. What does that mean? Good morning. Where's Phyllis? Oh, okay. If you don't know where you're going, any road will take you there. What does that mean? Exactly. So if you don't have a plan, if you don't have any idea in mind, just any road will get you to where that is, which is you don't know where. Now, what's the answer to the second one? In California. What's the question? But if you don't know where you are, and connect it to the first. Okay. If you don't know where you are, you don't know. That's not true. It's not always true. Okay, but connect that to the first. So the first is if you don't know where you are going, any road will get you there. But if you don't know where you are, what?
I know where you are.
If you don't know where you are, what? Huh? You can't get there anyway. Okay, so think about that. So the Navy SEALs have a training exercise they do. They take you up in a helicopter, they fly you around, and then you're blindfolded, then they let you out and say, okay, you need to get back to, let's say they say Las Vegas. How? You might be west of Las Vegas. Okay, so let's do this. So they drop you off here. You don't know if Las Vegas is here, or here, or here, or here. How is following the sun? How's following the sun going to help you get there?
Well, the sun rises in the eastern sector.
Right. Okay.
So you know north and south. So you've got 4 cardinal points in which you can work.
Okay.
So then all you need to do is try to, if you don't have any visual guide,
This is where you dropped off in the middle of the desert.
Yeah, it's called a dead reckoning. You don't have any visual guides.
Here's the point. You're assuming somebody says, okay, you're here. We're dropping you off here.
You don't
Now
know
figure out where west is, and you can get to Las Vegas.
No. If you know where your home is.
You don't. They're dropping you off in the middle of the desert.
Yes, but they took you from a point.
Blindfolded, and they flew you around for 2 hours.
Well, that's like that.
So then you don't know where you started.
You don't know where you are. Doesn't matter where you started. You don't know where you are right now. Yeah, I started 2 hours ago in a hangar and they blindfolded me. I don't know if I flew around in circles.
It's like that show Future
Okay.
Search.
Okay. But Daniel's bringing up a good point because most people think, I don't need to know where I am. I just need to know north, south, east, west, and I can get there.
Yeah. I just have to figure out where you are and you orientate yourself.
You have to know where you are, but the problem is often you're dropped off in the middle of the desert.
So
You
figure
don't
it
have
out.
any frame of reference. You don't know what those mountains are. You don't have a map. You don't have anything. They'll say, okay, well, here's a compass.
See that?
Kiss your butt goodbye.
No.
Plus side of that is if you do keep going much slower,
You'll eventually hit the ocean, correct. But you might have been 5 miles, 10 miles west of Las Vegas. Now you're at 100% of the direction you're going is exactly opposite where you want to go. So, this shows you the importance of having a map. Life is the same thing. So if you give a guy, to where Manuel was thinking, if you give a guy a map and it says, here's Las Vegas, here's you are, it's easy to figure out by the sun, well, which way do I need to go? Right? Because if Las Vegas is here and I'm here, I know I need to go which direction?
Northwest.
Northwest. So having a map is crucial. Most people walk around what's called being rudderless. Law school, the number one criticism you get when you turn in papers and you get them back, it says rudderless. I don't know where you're going. You're just drifting along. You're going wherever the current's taking you. And you start with this argument, then you jump on that argument, you got this argument. I don't know where this thing is going. And that's not compelling and it's not persuasive. Right? You're just hoping. It works like with sheeple. You throw something out, people say, I like that, and then they follow you. You don't know where you're going. Okay, so in life, it's important to have those two questions answered. Where am I going, and where am I starting from? In business, it is crucial to have and use maps. Now, for people like me, people my age, people 40, people who grew up in a non-internet world, maps were cumbersome things that were hard. They were hard to fold, right? There's always a special way of folding. And you always got you did the first thing wrong. Yeah. Okay, so then there's the Thomas guide. Okay? And that was good, except if you're driving, it's not really that easy because you're flipping through pages. And does anybody remember AAA's triptychs? Right? So AAA, you used to be able to, probably still can't, go into a AAA office and say, I want to go from here to Dallas. And they would create a thing for you and just flip page after page after page. And it has stuff of interest and it has the highways and it was really cool. All that stuff is now obsolete because of these, plus GPS. So this has maps, and it has the GPS to tell you where you are. So most people that are in business grew up in a pre-internet era, and maps were hard and cumbersome. Now, there is no challenge to doing maps. The challenge is people don't know how to use an online map.
Or even a regular map these days.
Well, you don't, yeah, so, there's that Clark's fifth law, that once you learn to use technology, you can't go back.
If you're dropped in the middle of the desert, you don't have a cell phone reception, or you can't use your ass out if you don't know how to read a regular map.
Yeah, well, even then you got problems, but you're right. So it's like today. Nobody knows how to do math because we have calculators. People are not good at doing math in their heads, right? Because we have tools to help us do that. So now I used to be very good at getting from point A to point B inside a city. Just give me a few things and I'll figure it out. Now that I have this, I can't do that anymore. It's impossible for me to do it without my phone. So, but that's a different problem. So this week, the opportunity now is to get to learn how to use this new technology that people are not using in business. You go into any business out there, virtually any business, and I can promise you, they can't show you a map of where their customers are, where their customers live, where their competitors are, where they have key suppliers. They don't have that because they grew up in a world where mapping was hard. So when you say map, a little subroutine in their brain says, okay, well, what is a map? Oh, it's that big piece of paper that folds up, which it's hard to do when you're driving, or it's a Thomas guide, or it's whatever, and it's not really practical, and it's hard for me to go back and update it all the time. So the experiment, or not the experiment, but the example we're using here today is we're creating one map and everybody's contributing to it, and in no time at all, this map will be built. And everybody has access to it. And everybody can add to it comments and things. So, so what I want everybody to do is take out their La Voce. And let's start with Jonathan. So you have a La Voce?
Can we get another copy? I gave my copy back.
No, the copies are gone. So you need to share with the person next to you. And it's okay.
And I gave it, and I put it back on the table.
So here's the important thing about following directions. Don't overstep. So Mark, Brett, we need a La Voce back. Who has an extra La Voce?
I got one. I brought one tomorrow.
Huh?
I brought one. I went.
Okay.
Check it out. And you scan a group number.
Okay. But these guys need them. They don't have one to use, so we need one back.
I got an extra one.
Okay. Good. So the people, who doesn't have a La Voce? Get out your La Voce. Brett's going to come by and show you which group of 10 you need to do.
Get that back.
Which, okay, so Brett is telling people which groups they need to do. Yeah. You can't get there anyway.
I'm sorry to get the address on there. I don't understand.
So that's what you said, the answer is.
Yeah. Could be. What address?
You got the address of where we're going.
Okay. Here's the exercise. Everybody is going to add 10 places onto the map.
This is a shared map that we're all doing?
Yes. And if you don't know where the map is, that means you really weren't paying attention with today's assignment. Right, Keith? Because Keith found it. Scott found it. On today's Google Plus event, right below the words, what's that official site name? I don't know.
So we just click save the location.
Yeah.
We just save this. We find the location.
All you need to do is what you've been asked to do. Just do what I'm asking you to do. Don't jump ahead. Okay? If you try to get ahead, you're just going to have to do it over again because you don't know what we're doing. Right? All we're trying to do is get Brett to quickly distribute the list of 10 places to everybody. Okay, so for people in California, this is where we create our map, our maps. And for your employment planning, you need to have a map as part of your proactive employment plan. Okay, wait, why are you guys writing things down?
Because we've got a starting point and they're ending. We're on the map.
You have enough La Voces that you don't need to be writing anything.
More of us are sharing. Yeah.
There's enough copies, you don't have to share it. Where did they all go?
Don't know.
Should be one copy for every 2 people.
How about 2 years ago?
Huh?
How about 2?
Who? Okay, we don't have time to be writing stuff down. So
I'm giving them the name of the company where they start at.
okay, but they should just mark that. Okay, so now Okay. All right. So in California, what you want to do is you want to create layers to your map. One of the beautiful things about Google Maps is that they have layers. What's another Google app that has layers? Calendar, right. Calendar has layers. What does that mean, Dan?
And like a subset. Well, say we're like categorized for things that are of interest in different categories.
On the calendar.
On the calendar.
What are the layers on the calendar?
Events.
Nope.
Birthday.
No.
Months.
No. The different layers on the calendar are different calendars. Okay, so you can have how many calendars up at one time? A lot. Or you can have how many? Yeah, probably you have to have at least one. Because I don't know what it would look like if your calendar is up and nothing is sideline. Okay, so Google likes to do things, so if you understand how to do a thing, you can understand how to do other Google apps. So like when you get to the calendar, if you open a calendar on your own, the first thing it does is it says Untitled Calendar. What's that remind you of? What does that remind you of? What app does that remind you of? Docs, right, reminds you of Google Docs. Okay, so when you start a new Google app, you have to mentally be starting from a positive position of everything is not new. That must be in California. Everything is not new. So everything is not new whenever you start a new Google app. Be thinking in terms of what is similar to this app to the other Google apps that I've already learned. If in your brain you're thinking, oh, another app, I've got to learn everything from scratch. No, you don't. A lot of it is the same. So one of the things that's the same is it says untitled map, just like untitled document. So you do that. The other thing is layers. Now layers on maps is the layers in a map. It works like calendars, but in the calendar app, the layers are different calendars. You don't have a map app and it has different calendars that are all up, different maps that are up at the same time. You have one map, and in the free version, you can have 3 layers. So, Rayanne, do you remember any of the layers from before when you did this? Yeah. So, the layers that you would have on your map, you'd have your map, and you'd have a school layer, an employment layer, and a personal layer. What are some of the things you might have on your personal layer? Shannon.
Where the pharmacy might be.
Okay, so on your personal layer of your map, you have the places that you go in your life. Maybe where you go to church, where your kids play, sports teams, the stores that you go to. And I can promise you, if you create a personal map and you populate it with all of the places that you go, your life will be different. You'll say, huh, wow, gosh, I didn't realize this was there and this was here. And I didn't, you'll get a totally different perspective. And then, of course, with Google Maps, what can you do when you have places on your map? Well, they're saved. They're on your map. They're saved. But what can you do? Well, they're already marked. They're saved. But once you do that, you can go to a level called what? Street View. So you can basically be driving from down the street virtually from one place to another. Okay? That's just one of the things of how does your life change when you have the places you go on a map. So, Google Maps, layers is a key thing that's like on calendars. Slightly different, but the idea is I can look at different things. So in the layers part, I can either look at my personal map only, my school map only, or my employment map only. Or I can look at two of them, or I can look at all three at once. So what is the key if you have multiple layers or a lot of points on your map? What do you want to do? Huh? Colorize them, and so that's colorizing them helps you do what? Okay, and identifying them helps you do what? Distinguish them, which is it helps you do what? Well, they don't need to do that to locate them because they're on your map.
Plan where you're going.
To plan better because you are organizing, right? So the word I was looking for was organizing. And we should end up with 250 locations approximately on our map. On this map, we should end up with about 250 spots.
Grab it and save it?
Oh, no. So we should end up with 250 locations. Now, once we have the 250 locations, we want to organize them into what are some of the categories we can organize them into. What type of place they are. So when you see the map that Mike started creating, there's a slice of pizza on there and there's a shopping cart. Now what do you think that pizza might represent? A pizza place. Now what might the shopping cart represent? A grocery store. Okay? So having a map with 250 red balloons tells us something, right? Here's where the locations are. But could it tell us a lot more if we color code them? Now, how about if we ask the question, since we're inheriting these, we don't know if they're real. So in business, wouldn't it be a good idea to go verify that these are actual accounts? Right? So, Dan had some initiative and decided, well, I'm going to just go to some of these places and reach 4. One of the 4 was actually real, except it also didn't have any current copies. It only had old copies.
One didn't have copies, one has vendors.
Oh, I thought one was real.
No, two. One was a sub shop that was now turned into a Subway. The other.
Okay, but wait, that one, when I say real, I mean a real distribution.
That actually, yeah. Well,
I thought Bambini now was Subway. Subway didn't have the logo.
Bambini's stuff is the Phillies that was out that turned into a Subway that found launch. They had a rack, they didn't have any, and then Bistro had them.
Okay, all right. So in the small, little, unstatistically valid sample that Dan did, half of them were wrong. And of the other half that were right, they were still wrong. Both of them were wrong for different people. So what we want to do is organize the map so that these things have so when you are doing these maps, it's also important that you put the phone number that's in La Voce on there. So here's what we want to do. Let's see, Dan, give me an address. So you should have the map. Everybody should have the map up. All you had to do was go to the map. No, Dan, give me an address. So here's all you do. Okay, so I start typing, but I'm looking here. 83.
Let me read it.
So I start typing the name. When I see the thing appear, when I see it here, okay. So now, what does it do? Everybody needs to pay attention to this because you're not going to get it right.
Put a-
This is it right here, right?
Right.
Okay. So what do I do next?
Click on
Exactly. I click on it. Okay, now, what just came up? So it has the address, and it says add to map, right? So what do I do? Yeah, I add it to the map. Now it turned red, right? So what do I want to do now?
Change the color, so
Well, I need to go back into it, and I need to edit it. Because I don't want just a map that has a bunch of location addresses on it. I want names. So how do we do that? We go in, just like in a lot of other Google things, I notice, oh, okay, oh, there's a pencil there. What does that mean?
Edit.
Edit. So I click on the pencil, and this now comes up. Okay? So what I want to do is drag the highlighted address into the description box. And up here, what is the name?
Clark County Library.
Now, at this point, please take the time to use proper punctuation. We can export from these maps into a spreadsheet. And then from the spreadsheet, we can import it into MailChimp. So we can send out a weekly email blast. Okay, now, what's the phone number?
There is no.
There's one there.
Sometimes they will.
Right.
Okay? So, but I know the address is right. And so then I save it, right? And where is it over here? It should be at the bottom of the list and it should be in bold, right? Now what do I do? When I hover over it, what happens? Yeah, a little piece button. So I want to click on that, but what I want to go to is more icons. And so, which one of these things looks like it should be a library?
Book. Yeah.
Book, okay. We'll do that. And so now we have that. Okay, so once I've done this part, I want to make sure that I have the phone number. So one way to do this, he said, is you can type in the location name. I don't like to do that because it's not always right. I like to put in the address because I want it to be where I want it to be. Some places there's more than one Metro Pizza. Somebody say Metro Pizza. There's more than one Metro Pizza.
This one has the address and
So I don't want to take time typing Metro Pizza and have to spend time, well, which Metro Pizza am I looking for? If I put in the address, boom, I know I'm going to get where they're supposed to be delivered. Then I save it, and I add it to the map. Okay? I go back in, I edit it, I make sure it says on the top, if the phone number is in the location, I want to add that in there too. So then I save that. Then I come over here to our list. I come down here. It's highlighted. So if I put my pointer on it, there's this little bucket. I click on the little bucket. Okay, and that gives me the opportunity to make changes. So I would change the IP.
is it already saved now?
Yeah. Yeah. That's a great map.
Director,
Yeah.
your admin's information on it, I mean, map or?
The Lavoche map. Map that is in the Google thing. Yeah, so for everybody, we're not creating a map. We're adding to the map that's already created. Okay? Okay. Anybody have any questions so far? Now at 11 o'clock, oh, it's break time. So, Dennis in California, thank you. We'll pick up tomorrow where you guys left off. Okay?